Hey, hi, how are you? Welcome back to the channel. So, it's getting to be that time of year. People that have a garden or people that don't have a garden start pulling tomatoes. And I am one of those people that like to use them. I can them a lot, but you run out of ideas of what the hell to do with these tomatoes. So, for all of you that have a bunch of tomatoes, you're not sure what to do, this is possibly the easiest thing that I think you can do. I make it a lot. I really like it. I think it works really well. Tomato jam. Great on burgers. Great on all kinds of shit. Super easy to make. Just a few things. Well, check this out. Watch this. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to need a few things. Tomatoes, obviously. Cherry tomatoes. Regular tomatoes. You can use either. I'm going to use both because I'm fucking cool. A lot of times I grow jalapenos. You should too. If you're not, you're dumb. Jalapenos. Use them. Grow them. Use them. Grow them. Use them. Other types of peppers. You can use those too. Whatever. Doesn't matter. You're going to need garlic. You're going to need peppers or red pepper flakes. I prefer real peppers. Better flavor. Tomatoes. San Marzano. These are heirloom. Stripies. Mr. Stripies. Rutgers. Nice low acid oranges. Sweet 100s. Okay? This is a by the pound kind of thing. So for every pound, you're going to use a little more. I'm going to make 2 pounds I'm going to start with 2 pounds of tomatoes. 2 pounds of tomatoes, you're going to need, with 2 pounds of tomatoes, you're going to need like a cup and a half of brown sugar and a half a cup of regular sugar. You're going to need some garlic. That's kind of up to you. I think that I'm using, well, I don't know what, 6 cloves here. You can use 2 cloves. You can use 1. This is kind of make it your own. There's a few things that you need to use. Also, champagne and beers. You can drink this while you're making it or not. Don't be a fuckwit. It's, high life. It's the champagne and beers. If you're going to make tomato jam, drink the champagne and beers. Okay, so brown sugar, white sugar, a little lemon juice doesn't hurt, but it's not necessary. Salt and pepper, yes. What you're really going to need is a little bit of ground cumin, ginger, and some clove. And you can adjust and you can try different things, use different seasonings and spices, but that's the major thing. Okay, garlic, hot peppers, and tomatoes, all right, with sugar. And that, you don't need pectin. There's enough sugar and shit that this will cook down and solidify and get really good. And then you can water bath can it and it will last, or you can refrigerate it and it will last a long time and you can use it immediately. So what I'm going to do is move this over here where you can see what the fuck I'm doing. This is my microwaved garlic, so I microwaved it to remove the shit. I'm just going to roughly chop it. No problem. Blah, 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 blah. And then I'm going to smash the shit out of it. It'll cook down, okay? This will cook down. I'm just mashing, okay? And that's releasing the essential oils. It'll get gooey. There's a little bit of a bad piece in there. I don't want that shit in my... when you mash like this, when you smash this shit, it releases the essential oil in the garlic, and the garlic gets very gummy, very gooey. And it really gets strong, and that's a nice thing. I want that flavor. And you can see it there. Let's see if I can get a little zoom here. Well, fuck, whatever. Just move the camera around. It's not like to care. So, again, tomatoes, 2 pounds. So think about it this way. for every pound of, so 2 pounds of tomatoes, you're going to need 2 cups of sugar. Okay? 3 pounds, 3 cups of sugar. And the rest of it is really kind of to your liking. So I'm taking all this garlic and I'm moving it right over to the pan here with the tomatoes. Now I've got about half the tomato I need. I think that don't get hung up on like exact weights and exact measurements, other than like you need at least this many pounds of this and this many cups of sugar. Otherwise, everything else is really, I think, up to you. I'm going to raise this up. Maybe you can get a little bit better view here. There we go. Okay, pause for the cause here. Okay, jalapeno. I used the whole thing, and I'm slicing thinly because I want this to really break down in the boiling process. I want these to really soften up and break down. Use the seed, use the rib. You know, what the hell is the use of having these hot peppers in here if you're not going to have any spiciness? If you don't want it spicy, don't use the fucking things, you know? These peppers, you know, jalapenos can go both ways. They can be as mild as a bell pepper, and sometimes they'll really blow your fucking mind. You know, I tried some of these with my buddy Chad. I grilled them when we had them with steak on Saturday night. We were putting an awning, a Batwing awning on the Subaru. It was hotter than the blue blazes of hell out. So it was muggy as fuck. But we were putting that on there, and we had these peppers. The one that he said they were perfect, and they were. The one that I had was hotter than the fucking Hades. It was just hotter than the blue blazes of hell. So I'm assuming that these things are going to be pretty goddamn on fire and really blow your mind hot. And that's okay. I like that in my tomato jam. I want more than something ultra sugary, you know. I want, and it's a hell of a good use of these peppers. I mean, it really is. Jalapenos are pretty easy to use on a lot of things. I just think it adds, like, if you're going to have it, I think it adds, like, holy shit, I didn't expect that to be hot. Wow, that's really got a lot of different flavors. And not to mention, it's spicier than shit. And I like that. When you're using these jalapenos, with any peppers for that matter, wash your fucking hands with hot water, okay? Not cold water. It's an oil that's on your hands. Oil, butter, things like that, under cold conditions solidifies. Alright? Hot water will liquefy that grease, that oil, and it'll wash off your hands. You wash your hands with cold water with that shit on, you don't think anything about it, you go to touch your pecker, you rub your eyes or something like that, and you're on fire. And then you're cussing. And that's not any fun. Okay, so, queso. I love fucking queso. I've got some damaged tomatoes, like old tomatoes here. I'm going to cut that shit off and go on about, you know, using the rest of it. Not a big deal. Cut that bad part off. Look at that. That sumbitch is all solid on the inside. That's a great looking tomato. Cut out the core. And there's another way to cut cores out, but since I'm just doing this fairly haphazardly and quickly, I don't need to worry about it. The bigger tomatoes, the non-cherry tomatoes, I want you to chop these up, okay? They don't have to be super tiny, but chop them up. This little damaged area here, how much we got? Yeah, that's good too. Use up what you can. Let's see. I'm even going to throw this really nice low acid tomato in here. That little, it's kind of discolored right there, but look at that. I'm going to cut a piece of this bastard off because I want to eat it just plain. I want to see what the hell this thing tastes like. This is a really nice tomato. Fucking look at that big juicy fucker. That's going to be good. It smells good. Nothing like, I mean, and if you don't like tomatoes, this isn't the recipe for you. You could skip to the next video. I'm sure I've got something cool on tattooing or what. Fuck, who knows. But you can smell how rich this tomato is. It's a pretty soft tomato. It's going to have a lot of good juice for the jam. Juice for the jam! Juice for the jam! Okay, that's good. Let's get another one here. Yeah, another little bit of a damaged tomato there. Just cut that shit off. Doesn't mean that the tomato is bad. I mean, look, that tomato is just fine all the way through it. Just that one little area was damaged. I had a lot of problem with blossom rot and low calcium in my soil this year. It's a new garden, and the topsoil that I used just wasn't quite as good as I had hoped it would be. It wasn't quite as rich as I had hoped. There's another really bad tomato. It just wasn't what I had hoped. And that happens. It was a really shit summer. It was hot, dry, and even with watering, it just never really... I never really gained any ground in the garden. It just never really wanted to do what I wanted it to. And, you know, you're going to have that from time to time. Not every season you get is going to be an ass kicker. That's what this recipe is for. When you've had a what I would consider to be not a great year. Look at these cute little shits. When you've had not a great year and you've got enough to do something with, but not enough to do a lot with. This is one of those recipes that you can stretch and get a hell of a lot of bang for not a lot of work. I love tomato jam. I've got a friend in Michigan, and she loves it, and I love to make it for her because I know that she likes it. You know, that's nothing better than cooking something that people like to eat. At least for me. You know, it's kind of the same as tattooing. You know, there's nothing better than giving a great tattoo on somebody that makes them feel good about themselves. Well, by God, I don't mind doing a fucking great little recipe for somebody. I hope you guys are learning and using this stuff. I mean, that's the whole goddamn point, you know? Don't make me piss up a rope for this. All right. I think I've got enough here. Maybe just, let's add another one. What the fuck? What the hell? I've got a bigger tomato here. The top isn't great. This is a Rutgers tomato. So, maybe I'll show you this if I can find my paring knife. Okay, here's my paring knife. Short blade. Choke up on your blade right here. See that? Here's the tomato. Here's the core. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to come in at an angle. Not too shallow, but about like that, 45. You're going to run that knife blade in there and keep your thumb right on the core, okay? Do not lift your thumb or you will cut the piss out of your hand. And then what you're going to do is stick that knife in there at that angle. See that? There it is, right there. There's the angle. Thumb on the blade of the knife, on the core of the tomato. Then you are going to spin. Keep your thumb down. Spin. 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 Do not lift your thumb. Pull out, and there's your core, and there's your tomato. Cored. This works on, if you have to core anything, you can do it that way. As long as you keep your thumb down, you will be fine. This tomato looks fucking amazing too. Okay, this little bastard right here, I'm saving that. We're putting salt and pepper on it. We're going to eat it and see what we got. You can make... If you guys want me to make like a, how do you can tomatoes or how do you stew tomatoes for canning or how do you make tomato juice or any, I will gladly show you any of that if you want. I do it every year. There is nothing better than using this shit in the middle of winter when you want chili, when you want, this fucking tomato is calling my name. When you want, fresh spaghetti or, any pasta dish for that matter, it's always going to taste like the cat's ass if you use your garden tomatoes from the summer versus the store shit. I'm not saying there's not good canned stuff, because there is. And most of the time, the greatest canned stuff will say San Marzano. That's these. They're tougher than shit to grow. I can't grow them worth a goddamn, but they're the best. Let's try this fucker. Yeah. I'll fight you for that thing right there. I will fight you in your neck area for that. That's how fucking good that was. Oh my God. Yeah, we're gonna fight because that shit is fucking good. That was a fantastic tomato. If you don't chew Big Red, then fuck you. That was really good. I mean, that was fucking insanely good. You back that up with a beer. That'll make you a fucking sexual Tyrannosaurus. Just like me. Okay, so we've got... Here's our pan of shit. Tomatoes, garlic, peppers. Okay, we're good. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add sugar, and we're going to start to heat this up slowly, okay? So let's get that shit together. Let's move the camera over here so you can see what the fuck I got going on. All right. Fire is on. There you go. Let's measure out some sugar. Come on, Mary. It's hotter than the blue blazes of hell out there. You're up there panting your ass off. Okay, so we need a half a cup of white sugar. Allow me to fuck around over here and do this. Okay, so sugar in. That's the white sugar. White sugar. Probably a good band name in the 70s, you know? Okay, and brown sugar. And we need a cup and a half of this. This is probably gonna fucking do me out on the goddamn... on the brown sugar. Brown sugar. Is that a song? Where the fuck did my measuring cup go? Did anybody out there in YouTube land see where the fuck that measuring cup went? Because between here and there, I lost the motherfucker, and I do not know where it went. Did I put it back in here? Yeah, I did. Because I'm fucking stupid. Okay. So there we're close. One. For all of you math nerds, I need a cup and a half. I'm using a half cup deal. There's two. That would be three. All right. Here we go. There's three. And I'm just going to give a little skosh more because a couple of those cups were kind of light. If I don't put that on the fridge list, Molly will fucking skin me alive. But it's in there. Okay, so I've got it. Now I can hear it starting to sizzle. So I'm going to back that heat off a little bit to about 5. Everybody's stove's a little bit different. I can't cook on anything but fucking gas because the rest of it sucks. Okay, black pepper and salt. Don't need a lot of salt, but this salt will help start to release some of the fucking juice from the tomatoes. That was probably, a teaspoon or so. I'm going to go heavy on the pepper. Heavier than you might think. Probably closer to 2 teaspoons. Whatever. This is not the Trinity Project as far as building a fucking atomic bomb, okay? You don't have to be exact here. I guess it is kind of the Trinity Project, isn't it? All right. Mary, you're fucking driving me nuts, babe. Seriously. Check this out, everybody. I'm going to blow my nose. Yep, fuck you. Okay. Wash my fucking digits. Good. Also, something cool. All you guys out there don't know what to get your mom or your wife for birthday or Christmas? These little bastards right here, this little terracotta spoon, if they like to bake cookies and all that stuff, get them one of these. A little terracotta spoon. Right there's the logo on it. I'm sure you can find it on Amazon, Walmart. Who fucking knows? Try your independent local brick and mortars, cooking store. I bet you they have one of these. Buy them in spades for all your women and guys, for that matter, that like to bake. This goes in the brown sugar and it keeps it moist. It's the coolest shit. I don't know the science behind it. All I know is it works. Okay? Buy one. It's worth every penny. And it makes a great gift. Okay, so I've got this going. It's just working real slow now. Okay, you don't want to, there's no reason to rush this. All right, you're not going to do yourself any favors by bringing that shit to a rapid boil. Okay, there's absolutely no reason for that. Period. There's a couple things in here that I really, really, really like. And I think that should be, without a doubt, in here. Period. And they are ginger, fresh or ground. Okay? This is a must. Allspice, not necessarily a must, but I think it adds a little bit. A little bit of this shit goes a long way. Cloves. This shit, you have to be really careful. Whatever you think you should use half of this. This shit will burn the whole thing if you're not careful, but I feel that it's essential to have in here. Okay? The other is nutmeg. And if you're not using whole nutmeg, you need to turn in your fucking cooking card. This shit is inexpensive, it will last you a long time, and it has far better flavor. Also, a little goes a long way, but you can get away with more of this. And the final fucking doodly-doo here. Get out of there, you son of a bitch. There you have it. Cumin. A little bit of this goes a long way as well. So we're using a lot of strong, assertive type spices here that go a long way. That's good. That's, you know, you just have to be aware of that. I'm going to give this brown sugar a little fucking what for here. And get it start breaking down, diluting here. Boom. There you have it. Okay, as all this starts to heat up, all these tomatoes will start breaking down and birds like, see there, you can, you know, boom, pop, snap, boom, boom, boom. Okay, we just want to keep that going. As far as measurements go for this shit, you know what? I don't think there's a wrong answer. I just know that ginger works really well. I'm going to go with whatever I think is, you know, how you, there's a teaspoon. Okay. That's a good amount. Cumin. Shut your mouth. Same teaspoon. Cloves, I'm going to go a hell of a lot less, like a quarter teaspoon. Oh, maybe we'll go a half here. Yeah, right about at a half teaspoon, okay? And we'll try that. We can adjust, okay? We can adjust. We can add more. We can add more as we go. I left one out because I think it's essential. I'm going to do the same with the allspice because it's got clove in it. And, you know, it's got all the shit in it. It's just you know, maybe that's even closer to like a quarter, okay? Excuse me. Fucking Christ. Okay. Cinnamon, yo, is a must. That is a must-have in this. 1, 2. That one I'm using 2 on. Okay, I would say it's not as assertive strong-wise as a lot of the other shit I'm using. It has a lot of flavor, of course, and it will burn it. It will ruin it if you use too much. But you're in a hell of a lot less of a situation to ruin your dish using that versus other. You bastard. Okay. Get out my doodly-doo. Little thing of nutmeg here. Okay, good. I find that to be a warm, kind of a rich flavor for that. I find that it works really well. Okay. I'm going to back this off just a little bit more. We're going to get this all incorporated. There's a reason I'm backing that heat off. I mean, I want it to get going. I mean, I do want that. However, I want it to back off so it cools off so I can actually taste where I'm at. Indiana, you don't like tomatoes. So I can taste where it's at. I need to be able to see if I need to add more sugar. Do I need to add more ginger? Do I, you know, what? You know, where am I at flavor profile wise? And I can adjust from there. Maybe, just maybe, I haven't put enough salt, pepper, well, anything. You know, maybe I need more ginger. Who knows? What do I want it to taste like? That's the beauty of something like this, is you can make it whatever you want. This is what I find to work well for me. This is the flavors that I know, the profiles I know that I can adjust. So here's where we're at. You let this go. You let it simmer down until you just keep boiling it. You're going to put a lid on it, okay? So you get to this stage, everything's in. You want to put a lid on it, and you want it to simmer. And you want it to simmer down until all of these have burst. When that happens, you want to take the lid off and keep simmering until it reduces by half. All right? And starts to get glue. It's going to get syrupy and thick. When that happens, we'll get to pouring it into jars and cooling it off. Okay? So I'll see you in a little while. Okay, so here's what we got after about 45 minutes of low simmer. And you can see how this has gotten dark. And how you can see how it kind of separates from the bottom of the pan. And then, look at that. See, it's not running back, very slow. Very dude-like. Okay, so all this is done. It's down to where I want it, viscosity-wise. You're going to see a lot of tomato skins in here because I don't skin mine. So you have two options. One, you can leave it that way, and that's okay. They've cooked down and they're fairly soft. What I like to do is grab this. It's an immersion blender, and I think everybody should have one. Get it in there and give it a few little, give it some stuff. Give it some gas. And that'll break a lot of that down. Keep it down. You lift it up, you're going to splatter shit all over the place. It doesn't have to be complete. Just spin it around, get it going, and that'll start to cut that shit up and really puree it into a nice smooth. You don't have to go all the way. I use this with a lot of soups. Like soups with beans, things like that I want a creamy soup, or like a leek and potato soup, and I want some of the potatoes to break down, get some of that starchiness, smooth it up. If I'm making a vichyssoise, I'll use this a lot. You can see it starting to take on a smoother texture. Maybe you can, I don't know if that. But it's breaking down a lot of those tomato skins in there. And any bigger chunks that you may have missed. And you can take this as far as you want. You could use a food processor. That's fine too. I just happen to like this. I think it's a fantastic tool. And I use the hell out of it for a lot of things. I think it's a must-have in a kitchen. If you're going to do any real serious like cooking and you want results to be great, this is what you have to have. And I'm happy with that right there. Okay. There we go. All right, so there's our tomato jam. Now, heat is off. I'm going to let it cool down, and I'm going to put it in jars. You can see how it's nice and good. I'm going to let it cool down. I'm going to put it in jars. And then I am going to, I'm going to take one jar with me. Molly and I are going to the Magnum PI Detroit baseball game this weekend. And I'm going to take some up there. We're going to be staying with some people. We're going to eat this with whatever the hell we want. Try this out. And the rest I'm going to put in jars. And then I'm going to water bath it for 45 minutes and can it. Yeah, so we have it. But there you go. I think that's going to yield me about... It looks as if I'm going to have maybe 3 cups, right around there. So in small jar world, that's probably 5 small jars worth. Yeah, 4 or 5 small jars worth, and that's plenty. That's a good haul for what we used. I hope you try this out. If you have questions, let me know in the comment section. If you haven't liked or subscribed to the channel, I'd really appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot, and it helps me puts me in a position to create more content for you. I know it's been a little light lately, but we're back on the train now, and there'll be stuff getting uploaded daily. So, subscribe, get post notifications, and I'll see you next time right here on the Trinity Collective.